up, my fellow creepers and things that go bump in the night? Welcome back to yet another episode of Creature of the Night. I am your friendly neighborhood sinner, your host, Toxin. You should know this. You should know what to do, guys. Hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell to let you know every time I upload so you can keep up to date with me. You should know this, guys. Big things, increasing on subscribers, increasing on my views, my latest views. A movie that I really didn't care too much about, kind of grossed me out, if anything. I mean, if I just want to creep people out, it's probably something I put on. So, but I appreciate your support, guys. It kind of shot up overnight, really, and that's kind of a big surprise to me. But thank you so much, guys. Thank you for keeping up with me. I did mention this movie in a previous film. I believe I mentioned it in Crawl. But I love classics. I'm not gonna lie. Classic horror movies. That's where I live. The new modern age horror movies, if you want to call them that, they're kind of iffy. They're very hit or miss. It's never like, okay, it was decent and then it kind of sucked. It's either it's gonna make it or it just drops the ball. And lately, what I've been seeing is a lot of like gore porn and a lot of just, I don't know. I don't want to say more psychological stuff because I do enjoy psychological movies, but I don't know. The modern day horror, it just doesn't do it for me. But so I will be going back and forth between new films being released and a lot of the classics, like I said, because that's where I live. So like I said, I mentioned this film in a previous video, and here it is, Alligator.
No one believed it. Forget it. Alligator.
Shout out to my grandmother for showing me this film. It was a film that she always talked about growing up. It was one of those that it kind of scarred her just mainly because of a particular scene that is in the film. Before we get to that though, alligator, it's big on the urban legend that there are alligators, crocodiles or whatever in the sewer, and that they are humongous. So this one kind of played off of it. Again, this is another thing that, tugged on the old heartstrings, not just because my grandmother showed me, but because urban legends is my shit. I love it. I love the matter of the what if, especially the what ifs that are more possible. Like, yeah, there could be werewolves, the urban legends like of stuff like that, like the Native Americans beliefs and stuff like that. But this one definitely, if somebody flushed a damn alligator down the toilet and if it continued on living on whatever the hell was down there, who knows how big they can get. There are reports of people who have actually seen real life alligators down in the sewers, but some of them turn out to be crockpot stories and some of them could be real. Like, just not, I don't want to say they're not mutated or anything down there, but they are like oversized, the ones that have been caught out in the wild in the sewers. So yeah, so this one, it's no better. I don't know what kind of fair it is that they take they take their little girl to, and she wins a crocodile or she buys a crocodile. I forget which it was, but I know she ends up with a crocodile from this fair, and she's keeping it in a regular sized tank. And it's not that it grew too big for them to keep it, and it's just, it looks like, from my understanding, because it's kind of just going through the credits, it's not really too much explained, that it seems like the dad just got mad one day and maybe it was a punishment towards his daughter, and he just ends up flushing it and it doesn't die. It's like, oh, I flushed down the alligator and that's the end of the story. No, that's not how it. Don't ever fucking do that. Don't do stupid shit like that. If you can't buy a pet, that goes for any regular pet as well. Dogs or anything like that, especially with exotic, like Joe Exotic pets, shit like that. Don't do it if you don't have the proper resources to take care of it or the time to dedicate to it. That goes for any kind of pet, and don't just release it into the wild. That's why we have so much shit out in the wild nowadays. New breeds, new species going on because of interbreeding and all that. So that's why we have so much shit in the world now today. But anyways, it's flushed down the toilet. It ends up growing. I forget the exact measurements, but it's probably like right up there with Jaws, 25 feet, if not bigger. Because I know there's actual 25-foot long alligators that are in captivity and out in the wild, and there have been seen bigger ones. So I forget the particular measurements of this particular alligator, but yes, so it's out in the sewers, and I believe they're doing work down in the tunnels, and it kind of just drives it out. It makes it come to the surface and it starts eating humans, and obviously that's a bad thing. We cannot have that going on. But it just becomes bloodlust. At first, it kind of seems like it's a territorial thing. It's just defending its home But after a while, again, being driven out of its home, it's just looking for food. Maybe it's gotten too big. I'll leave that up to you. You know, if you check out the movie, you've seen the movie before, let me know down in the comments what you think about what happened. But it had to leave the sewers for more food, and it starts wandering around the residential area, terrorizing people, eating people, and it brings us to the one scene that It's one of those scenes. It's like Misery, where she hobbles in, where she breaks his. Maybe you're seeing a clip of it where she breaks his ankles on the board. I forget. There's another particular one. American History X. Maybe you're seeing a clip of that where the guy actually stomps out an African American he curve stomps him and kills him. It's one of those scenes that I've only seen once and I've never seen again. It's one because it's sad. First off, where's the parents? It's a little kid's birthday party. Where are the parents? Why are the kids have him tied up and pushing him into a swimming pool? You see where this is going. There are so many things that could have been prevented to stop this murder right here. And again, too, I know, again, it's a film, guys. So people who've seen it, it's a chlorine pool. I understand, it probably couldn't survive in a chlorine pool, or maybe back in the day it wasn't chlorine, who knows. But the swimming pools, it probably couldn't really survive, but it's hanging out towards the bottom because it's made its way into the backyard. These kids it seems to be the birthday boy, and they have I believe if I remember correctly, they have his hands tied up and they kind of just push him into a pool, and it's like a joke. First of all, it's a fucked up joke. Again, where's the parents? Why aren't you watching your kids? They're probably inside getting drunk. Who knows? Anyways, not to rant. And obviously, when he's pushed into the pool, the alligator sees the free meal and goes at it. That's one heartstring tugging scene that I've probably only seen once in my life, and I will never see it again. For obvious reason, it's horrible. You don't actually see him being chomped on. You just see the bubbles and the blood rising to the surface, and you just kind of put two and two together. And yeah, it's just a horrible scene. Again, that's another scene that my grandmother had a hard time watching, but she always talked, because that's what made her remember that movie, was that scene. So go check it out. Hopefully I found a clip of it or a picture of it and you're seeing it around my head somewhere. But yeah, guys, and then eventually it gets to the point where they have to blow it up. They end up blowing it up with the rocket launcher just because you're not going to be able to capture this thing and then put it in a zoo or anything like how we usually want to do, how people want to make money off of it. It's taking too many lives and it's time to put it down. Otherwise, because we can't let it go back into the sewer and maybe multiply. So yeah, they end up blowing it up, and that's the end of that. To be honest, I can't really remember if there is anything past that. Because I think there is an alligator too, so I don't remember the story if it actually laid eggs or it had hatchlings while it was down there, or what was the issue, if there was another alligator down there and they made it and it was protecting the nest while the male went up and hunted and gathered food or whatever. But I'll leave you up to that debate. If there is a second one, like I said, I think there is a second one, but I'm not 100% sure. I will have to do my research on that one, but I believe there is. And if there is, let me know down in the comments below, and I will check it out and probably review it. Again, guys, I'm going to be going back and forth with new horror and old horror. I know I've missed a lot of new horror. Again, I don't watch trailers from the teasers or from hearing podcasts about it. There's a lot that's not really grabbing my attention nowadays, but I will end up reviewing it for my fans because I have gotten a few requests. So who knows what I'll review next, but just stay tuned, guys. Like I always say, if you're not sinning, you're not having fun, guys. Beware the moon.